The recent felony stalking charge brought against Ryan Thornton, 37, for allegedly sending menacing emails to Wisconsin Chief Justice Jill Karofsky underscores a disturbing national trend: the increasing targeting and harassment of judicial officials. This incident, rooted in a personal grievance that escalated into a significant security threat, forces a critical examination of the vulnerabilities faced by those tasked with upholding the rule of law in a hyper-polarized environment. Summary of the case. Ryan Thornton of Racine was charged with felony stalking in Dane County Circuit Court after a period of intense, sustained communication directed at Chief Justice Karofsky. The threats, delivered via 9 separate emails between August and October, reportedly contained profanities, accusations of manipulation, demands for her to eject herself from office, and the alarming request for her personal home address. These messages suggested a desire to make her private life public, raising immediate security alarms. The judicial official informed investigators that the persistent and aggressive nature of Thornton's actions had caused her genuine fear, necessitating police escorts for public events and impacting her sense of security even at home. The judge ultimately set a high cash bond of $85,000 and issued a strict no-contact order. Reasons and motivations behind the escalation. The catalyst for Thornton's actions appears to be a deep-seated grievance related to an attorney who represented him in a 2019 strangulation case. After his conviction, Thornton filed a complaint against the attorney with the state's Office of Lawyer Regulation, OLR. When his complaint was rejected, his frustrations were redirected toward the highest echelon of the state judicial system, Chief Justice Karofsky. This trajectory reveals 2 critical motivators. First is the grudge stalker profile, an individual driven by perceived injustice who fixates on powerful figures associated with their legal setback. For such individuals, the threat becomes less about politics and more about personal retribution against the symbols of the perceived wrong. Second, the harassment was likely amplified by the contemporary climate of political polarization. Karofsky, a known liberal voice on the court, is an easy target for those who align their personal frustrations with broader political rhetoric, evidenced by some of the content in the emails. This confluence of personal failure and public political resentment creates a dangerous pathway for online hostility to spill over into physical threats. The ease and speed of digital communication via email allowed the threats to escalate rapidly, overwhelming the judicial officials' defenses and peace of mind. Consequences and systemic impact. The consequences of this incident are twofold: intensely personal for the victim and profoundly systemic for the judiciary. On a personal level, the Chief Justice's fear, being afraid to collect mail or needing police protection at public events, is a clear violation of her basic security and quality of life. Such actions are designed to exert a chilling effect, intimidating the public servant into modifying her behavior or decisions. Systemically, this case poses a direct threat to judicial independence, which is fundamental to the rule of law. Judges must be free to make decisions based solely on law and fact, without fear of physical reprisal or harassment. When judges are successfully targeted, it degrades the integrity of the judicial process itself. Furthermore, it places a substantial ongoing burden on state law enforcement and security resources, diverting them from other essential public safety duties. This is why the court, in setting the high bond and strict contact restrictions, is not merely penalizing an offense, but actively working to restore the stability and security required for the judiciary to function. Predictions and solutions for the future of judicial security. The trend of judicial targeting is unlikely to abate. Instead, it is predicted to become more sophisticated and prevalent. Future threats will increasingly involve digital stalking, doxing, deepfake usage, rapid dissemination of personal information, and coordinated online harassment campaigns. As the privacy and personal lives of judges become more exposed through public records and social media, the vulnerability to determined stalkers like Thornton grows exponentially. Addressing this requires a multi-pronged approach that moves beyond reactive police response. 1. Legislative protection. States must continue to pass robust anti-doxing laws that specifically shield the personal identifying information, home addresses, phone numbers, vehicle registrations of judicial officers and their families from public online databases. Wisconsin has taken steps in this direction, but these laws need consistent strengthening and enforcement. 2. Technological security. Judicial systems must invest in centralized, high-level threat assessment and monitoring teams. These teams would utilize technology to proactively scan social media and dark web forums for credible threats against personnel, intercepting them before they escalate to physical risks. 3. Security integration and training. All court staff, including clerks and administrative personnel who handle initial complaints, must receive specialized training in threat recognition and de-escalation techniques. Furthermore, physical security, CCTV, secure access, secure mail handling at courthouses and private residences must be continuously upgraded to meet evolving threats. 4. Mental health intervention. Given that personal grievances often fuel these incidents, greater collaboration between law enforcement and mental health services is necessary to identify individuals at risk of escalation and provide intervention pathways before criminal charges become necessary. Ultimately, the charge against Ryan Thornton serves as a stark reminder that protecting the judiciary is synonymous with protecting the integrity of American democracy.